Well, here we are on YouTube, and here we are again going down the Radiohead rabbit hole, which we kind of left for a little while, but I just want to be very clear about why we're coming back to it so people understand. We do what people pay us to do. In other words, they request songs or albums, and we've been very, very busy actually doing a lot of requests. And lately, we get a lot of requests kind of in other areas. Some people are not happy necessarily that we're doing that, but that's the way we do things. We take requests, and then when they're requested, then we do them. And so we're doing Radiohead today because it was requested.
That's right. So not only was it requested, it's a paid for request using our Patreon system. So if you would like us to react, review, watch a video, song, or an album, join the appropriate tier on our Patreon. The other benefit of Patreon is this album, for example, may very well get blocked. And if it does get blocked, you're only going to be able to watch it on Patreon. And for example, OK Computer. So Nathan and I did OK Computer. And for whatever reason, that album was hard blocked on YouTube, and it's only available on our Patreon to watch by Radiohead. Great review, great album. I really had a lot of fun doing that. So this is a Patreon request from Eleni. She enjoyed her OK Computer and our other Radiohead reactions, and she would like us to react and review and listen to for the first time in whole, in order, In Rainbows by Radiohead that was released in 2007, so 15 years ago.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've done a song or two from this album. Not like, we haven't done
from
the whole
previous
thing.
requests.
From previous requests.
From previous requests.
Yeah.
So I think, for example, I know for sure, Nathan, off the top of my head, we did Jigsaw Falling Into Place. We did the audio version from this album, like actually on iTunes. So I think when we get to that, it was a single from the album, so I assume there's probably a music video. So when we get to that song, we'll intercut the music video. So we might as well react to the music video since we've already heard the song.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. This album was highly universal acclaim for this album, Nathan, just in general. Overall, like 88 to 90 out of 100 overall, like A-, A, 9.3, 5 out of 5. Like all the major conglomerates, again, have given this album a high rating. So it's obviously, I mean, most Radiohead albums, I think, are usually highly rated. But this album in particular, I think, might be one of their more highly rated. I know it's Eleni's favorite. I believe she said this is her favorite Radiohead album. That's why she wants us to listen to it. So, yeah, the first song is called 15 Step. 15 Step, yeah.
All right, here goes.
I when I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, I was so serious about my program that I took the 15 Step program. I did 3 extra steps.
This is that. Oh man, you've done some like bad jokes before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. I'm sorry. Here goes.
Well, I'm only on the 7th step, so bear with me. I'm halfway there. Yeah. Okay.
I love that beat.
I was not expecting that. or a sound effect?
Yeah, a bit of both, I think. Effect on the vocals. The bass lick there.
Hey!
Yeah.
Whoop. That's great. Oh man, that tapped into something for me that I love. I love best way to describe it, and I don't know if this is still a thing or not, but industrial kind of techno. It's like I really liked, for example, when U2 in the Achtung Baby album, they changed their sound a little bit for that album, and it went from that kind of like just kind of your classic bass and drums and kind of more of a rock sound with a little bit of edge as echo. It changed it to a bit more industrial sound, and like that beat was just so effective. I don't know. I love great like beat songs. I've always loved it. So that was like, that one might end up on my my one wheel playlist. Yeah. There you go. The one wheel list. That's a big.
Playlist. That's a big honor.
Yeah.
I wonder what the 15 step refers to, and that's another question I've got about this. Is this like, is that like a, because like there's what's something called the 12 bar blues, which is where you go, I don't know, it's just like this. I wonder if there's a 15 step beat in there that I'm just missing. Might be, but it's part of the song. I see it's part of the title of, or in the lyrics, so it's probably, I'm probably just off on something, but yeah.
Yeah, great opening track. Radiohead is the very little I know and recall. They're not really that type of sound, I don't think. Like more of the tempo is faster per se. Like they're not a beats per minute fast type band. Am I wrong in saying that on average?
Not always. Sometimes. There's been a few songs that speed it up a bit. But.
And so I enjoy it a little bit more. I admit I enjoy it a little bit more. It's easier to listen to when it's just, it's just you're tapping your foot right away. It's easy to get into. I think, I don't know this album, but I suspect maybe, like you're saying, like, is this a sound change for the band? Is that why this is the first song? Is this kind of a different sound than the previous albums?
Correct me if I'm, no, OK Computer, was that before this one?
I think it's after.
Or after?
I think so.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I could be wrong. I like that the choir singing. So that was from the Matrix Music School Children's Choir sang that little part. Wow, that little.
Yeah.
And this is the write-up here on Google. We are an arts education charity providing a warm, friendly environment in an award-winning building for children and adults to enjoy the arts in the Sutton Courtenay, South Oxfordshire. We are especially proud of our Yamaha Music School. So anyways, this is cute. They're a little arts program for kids and adults there. And I just wonder what the conversation would have been from the band to this. I wonder what the connection is. There had to be some sort of discussion between
We need a kid.
Tom York.
Yeah.
Like Tom York, did he go there? Does he have a kid that goes there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's his connection? Probably would probably be him. Like, and then I like the idea where they're like, what would really go good here is a kids choir going, yeah, and they had to set it up. And they got all the kids together, and they all are excited because they heard their voices on the album. Like, and what's crazy too, those kids that were maybe 9 or 10 there, and during the recording now, like in their mid-20s. It's just I always find this kind of stuff fascinating. That's me. I'm on that album. Anyways, yeah. All right, great start.
Cool. What's next?
Well, Nathan, I have that information right here for you. Here it is. It's called Body Snatchers.
Body Snatchers.
Ooh, Body Snatchers, yes.
Okay, here we go.
I do not understand what it is. I don't know. Before the holes, check for pulse. Blink your eyes, won't forget to
I like that change right there.
Okay, so I wasn't sure on the last song whether it would be on the One Wheel playlist. That one absolutely would be on. and there's kind of a criteria for it. I've realized it has to be a driving song. It has to be kind of a song that just keeps going, but never has like a lull or a moment where there's no music playing, or you know what I mean. Like it just keeps on, like keeps you like pumped up the whole time. That one absolutely nailed it in those categories. And that like that heavy beat, the do 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 do, like when it comes in, when it hits that near the end of the song there, it's perfect. Yeah, I love this song.
I was gonna tell you, if you don't put that on your one wheel playlist, then I don't understand your algorithm.
Yeah, no, it
you ready for a Ryan positive rant?
Oh, a positive.
That's their best song that I've ever heard.
Oh.
That's my favorite song I've heard from them.
Yeah.
Well, it's in my wheelhouse of songs. Like, Radiohead hasn't been my thing. Like, I really appreciate their talent, uniqueness, complicated songs. You know, they're not an easy band. You don't listen to Radiohead and go, that's an easy song. So I admit, I'm not as smart as my Nathan. You know, Nathan's a smart guy, so
whatever.
I have to do the less complicated type songs. But what I'm trying to get at, this has that driving guitar work. I love the change from the electric guitar, and then you hear that rhythm acoustic come in. I love that sound. So it's a boom, boom, boom. And it's just, and it kept driving and driving. This would be a great concert show or a song on a show. I suspect they probably played it live at many concerts. I hope they do. But this is the kind of Radiohead I like. So I mentioned at the beginning of the album, you know, that first song was like the fast beats per minute. Is just an introduction to the sound of the album in general. And I suspect we're going to hear quote unquote slower tempoed songs as the album goes on. But I'm wondering now we've got two in a row that got is this what this album's about? So don't tell us in the comments. This is us, you know, speculating. So don't let us know if I'm right or wrong. It doesn't mean the slower songs I don't enjoy. I do, but I admit I'm digging the boom. It just, yeah, and that was a great sound. Tom's vocals were cool in that. A little distortion, vocal work. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, Body Snatchers. That is going on my iPhone.
I see that people are saying that I'm too quiet, but
yeah, I keep messaging you. Your mic just maybe needs to get closer to your mouth is all.
Yeah. So this next song comes to us.
Perfect. It sounds perfect. But people can also turn up their own. That's right. You can actually, really quick, we'll edit this out. But if you right click on someone's name, folks, on your PC in particular, if you right click on their name, you can change their volume roll. So you can actually use their volume. You can increase that person's volume. So if Nathan is quiet, you can actually increase his volume. If mine's too loud, you can decrease mine. And then also, regarding the PC version, on a stream, you can increase and decrease the video and or music you're listening to. So you can make that quiet and us loud. So it all works. So you have so on your end, people, it's your control how loud or quiet we are as well.
Yeah.
Okay, but you were a little bit quieter to me too, Nathan, I've been finding. So, yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
What's the next one? We
have to do like a Discord video again.
I know.
All those little things of how to use Discord. Okay. Oh, the next one is called, I think this is a great question. I've got that right here for you, you know. I just look at the track listing, I read it to you, and... all right. Nude. Nathan, the next song is called Nude.
Oh.
This was also... It should say... Wikipedia's kind of weird. It didn't say that Body Snatchers was a single, but then when I clicked on the song, it said it was.
No.
I think it was a single that was released maybe before the album was released as a promotional.
Okay.
Like a, hey, yeah. And it was their highest charting song since Creep.
Oh, okay.
And I can see why. Yeah. So you can, yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. And now this next song is also a single from the album called Nude.
Just have to use our imaginations.
I like nude. I prefer nude. Good-looking people, but...
No, the ugly people are all now offended.
Ugly people, well, yeah. Let me know in the comments if you're ugly and offended.
Well, here's your answer. Is this a slow one or a fast one?
Yeah. I like the string. A lot of different sound effects going on there, like. jazzy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it. Big idea. They're not gonna happen.
This is like you giving me advice.
You paint yourself white and feel noise. There'll be something missing. Now that you found it's gone. Now that you feel you don't. You got off the so don't get it. Big idea. They're not gonna happen. You go to hell for your dizzy mind is
That's a long note to hold.
Yep.
I can see why that's a single.
Interesting you say that, 'cause
Go ahead.
I find I don't know if I see why this is single. I'll share my thoughts as to why, but I want to hear why you think so.
It's quite like it's a beautiful song. I think that's but it's also like quite musically it's a very strong song, and like his like Tom's voice obviously carries the song there, but it builds up. It's very intricate. I mean, there's not much there for lyrics, but there's very powerful. Like what they've said in the lyrics is quite there's a lot to unpack there in those lyrics. So to take something so small and to like pull it apart and to sing it and to perform it in such a beautiful way, I would guess that when they wrote that song, I bet they were like, there's no way we're not releasing this as a single, just because I feel like there's a lot more going on in that song than it seems like. It seems like a very simple song on the outside. When you kind of pull it and unpack it, there's actually a lot more complexity to it. So, yeah.
Oh, well said. And I agree. Beautiful song. I really, really liked it. And it's interesting. Tom York said that when he first recorded this, he didn't like that it sounded so effeminate and high vocal. It sounded like a woman singing. And then when he was done recording, he's like, "Oh, that is why I like it." And I agree. It really showcases his vocal work. So I'm surprised he felt that way. I mean, granted, he was younger back then, not much younger, 15 years ago, but I mean, he would have been in his 30s, I think. But anyways, the point is, it showcases his vocal ability, which I wouldn't say it. I don't think people listen to Radiohead to listen to Tom York singing. I don't think that's the draw. You know how some bands will have a frontman that the singing could be the draw, right? I don't know if people say I am a Radiohead fan because I love Tom York's singing. Now, I'm not saying that's bad or good. I just don't know if it's the draw. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if it's Tom York singing that people go their radio. I think it's their music. I think it's their compositions, their pieces, their complexity. I think that's the draw. But that being said, this song, but I think this song is kind of a showcase for Tom's vocal range and ability. So I really enjoyed hearing that, and it was a beautiful composition. I would say it's a brave single. I don't know if I would, to be honest with you, if I was a part of the team management or the production company or whatever, I don't know if I'd push for that for a single. It's a beautiful song, don't get me wrong, but that's a brave choice. That's all. Yeah, it's a brave choice, but yeah.
I feel like that one even crosses a few genres for them, so it doesn't go necessarily into the, the rock genre. It's almost like, it's not pop either. So it's,
it's a very good song.
Yeah,
brave single choice. That's all I'm saying.
I'd slow dance to it. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do Weird Fish's Arpeggi live in Chile.
Chile. There
you go. Good job.
Is it snowing right now there, Nathan, where you live?
It is.
Is it Chile?
Oh dear.
Okay. The reason why we're doing the live performance. Oh, you gotta explain to our people watching this why we're doing it.
You already explained it.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I don't even remember.
We're doing
really quickly because we did that.
You go ahead.
All right. We did the studio version, I believe. So now we're gonna watch it live. All right. That's all.
All right.
All right.
Here you go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep saying all right.
No, we got it. No, we got this one. We got this. Let's go. Ooh, look at their stage.
I like this song.
No, I want to see the concert version. I want to see this version.
Do you know what an arpeggi means, or arpeggio? Do you know what an arpeggio is? That's how he's playing.
Tell me after.
That's how he's playing the strings.
Oh. Wow.
Or the chords.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tom's movements. I forgot that he moves his head like that.
Yeah. two drummers? Is this the first time I've seen that?
Oh, wow. Kind of wanted that to keep going there at the end.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's something that they could have easily, not drawn out, but drawn out. They could have easily kept that jam going. That's a very easy jam to listen to at the end there. That's I'm glad our secretary Ellie found that live version, because I like the concert footage. I love the in-basement stuff. It's been great. We've done some in-basement stuff by Radiohead, but I like seeing their big stage, the crowd. There's something really special about a live performance with the crowd and that kind of energy that the crowd draws from. That's a good boy. This is obviously it's a good album, Nathan. I can see why this album.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, hot take, right? I can see why this album is highly critically acclaimed and favored amongst fans. I'm really digging again the beats per minute of these songs, the rock feeling, the complexity of the guitars, Tom's vocals. He sounds great here live in 2018, just 4 years ago. This is a fun performance, great song. This is probably I'm like Eleni. This is probably my favorite Radiohead stuff that I've heard in like. We've heard other songs from other albums. They've all been good, but I mean, maybe this album is unique in its own way of just being that good. I think I'm enjoying it maybe more than OK Computer. I'd have to go back and watch our review, but I think OK Computer, if I remember correctly, was more complicated. I hate these terms. I don't want people to like at me and say, no, this one, the guitaring is more complicated. No, I'm not a music guy, so I can't tell you how hard it is to play a certain song. I feel like this one's a very easy one, maybe for a new Radiohead listener to get into. Or maybe this is a good introduction to the band.
Well, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah. You took a lot of the things out of my mouth that I was going to say.
Okay.
And it's good but the one thing I picked up on this one that I'm just kind of noticing now is how much Tom uses his vocals as an instrument. And especially in the end there, him just kind of like he was oohing to kind of with the effects on to kind of create this ambiance with the song, which was kind of cool. It was not a lot of musicians do that use their voice as an instrument. I mean, it is an instrument. Don't get me wrong; it always is, right?
Right, of course.
But quite a few vocalists are just like, I sing the songs, or I sing and I play guitar along with me singing. But he was actually like kind of mimicking an instrument there. It was kind of cool. Yeah.
Eleni was saying that this album has a lot of variations, so maybe we're just getting used to them too. Maybe that's the other thing. Maybe I'm just, because I've heard some stuff and a good handful of songs. Maybe I already am getting used to their sound, and it doesn't seem as complicated as it once was for a new listener that we're listening to them more. Yeah.
So the next song we're gonna do is "All I Need" for this part of part 1 of Radiohead. Yeah, looking forward to it. Ready?
Yeah. Well, before you just slow down,
but my fingers on the mouse.
So All I Need is the last song on side A, and it was actually a promotional single.
Okay. Like,
that's
with,
weird. It says here it was
Body
released as
Snatchers?
well. That doesn't make sense. So it says here it was released as a promotional single on the 5th of January 2009. Did I get the wrong date for this album's release? 2009. This album was released in 2007. What's going on here?
What's going on?
Is Wikipedia wrong? Anyways. Maybe the album was already out for a couple of years, but they still release promotional singles. Well, like, promotional singles are weird. Like, what's the difference between a promotional single and a radio single?
My guess is that it's like people went like, "Hey, that's a really good song. You should like put that out there on the radio or whatever." I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it says here on Wikipedia, a promotional single is a single that is made available to radio stations, nightclubs, music publications, and other media outlets by a record label to promote a commercial single or album. So it's almost like not a single, but it's like, hey, this is a really good song. But it's not a single, but it's a good song to promote the songs that are good songs. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. All right, let's check it out.
Here it goes.
Another song that could have been longer. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't. It's a good criticism because the Weird Fishes live performance again, that jam at the end. I kind of wanted it to keep going for another 45 seconds to a minute. I selfishly wanted to hear more. And that I always said I like a great build-up song, so that's I knew that was kind of coming. The piano kicks in, the string orchestra kicks in, and builds and builds. That I want another 45 seconds of that. So I was selfishly disappointed, but that's a good thing because I wanted more. You want to hear it more.
See, and I was tricked by it. I started listening to it and I thought it's good. If kind of like, okay, it's gonna be kind of like this for the whole song, and then as it started to build, I'm like, oh, I was wrong. It's actually building to something, and then I realized that it was, I mean, it's less than, it's not even like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, it's not a very long song. Oh, yeah.
No, and it builds to that like crescendo, and then it, like you say, it just feels like, come on, like what's the next step? Where does it go?
Right.
So far I would say, like, all the songs we've listened to, very strong songs.
Very strong. Well, side A is very strong. Will side B live up to side A's expectations? Find out in part 2 of our. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the next song.
Well, I think I wanted to know: is Faust? That's a German word, isn't it?
I think so.
Faust Arp.
I don't know what it means.
Did you ever watch that movie with Simon Pegg, who played the cops? They played the police officers. What is it called again? Oh, Hot Fuzz. Yes, Hot Fuzz.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Oh, that's one you should do for the reaction channel, Nathan.
Oh,
honestly. Really? Yeah. I think get a kick out. Anyway, there's a character who's a bad guy, but he's kind of like handicapped, and all he can say is "yarp." That's all he can say. It's actually the guy that plays Game of Thrones, the Hound.
Oh, really?
The same actor, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he goes "yarp." Anyway, so Faust Arp. It just reminded me of Faust Arp. I don't know. Hey, that was just my way of saying Arp. Reminds me of that sequence or scene in Hot Fuzz. Okay. All right. Let's listen to. Now we're on side 2, song 1, Faust Arp.
Faust Arp.
Faust Arp.
Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. It's on again, off again, on again. Watch me fall like dominoes in pretty patterns. Fingers in the blackbird pie and tingling, tingling, tingling. It's what you feel now, what you ought to. Reasonable, sensible. There from the neck up. I guess I'm stuck. Without your head in even now. No, for no real reason. Squeeze the tubes and empty bottles. I take a bow. It's what you feel now, what you ought to. The elephant that's in the room is tumbling. Duplicate and plastic bags and duplicate and triplicate. There from the neck up, I guess I'm stuck. Without your head in even no. Exactly where do you get out? Is enough. I love you, but enough is enough. And that stuff, there's no real reason.
Oh, that was with like a real full string, like orchestra background, right? That
Well,
was
I don't know. I would assume so.
no. I just mean like sometimes artists will like get some keyboards that sound really close, and you're like, it's
Right.
close enough. But that was the real thing.
I would say so. Yes.
Yeah. No,
Thoughts?
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
really-
that was a nice song. That was a really nicely done.
Yeah, very lyrically strong. You know, it's got that kind of like dark kind of theme going on with the music and the lyrics. So it's eerie. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I thought it was actually a really nice song. Actually, I like those type of songs. The acoustic, of course. I love string instruments in rock or whatever music we. I do like the strings. I think I'm a big fan of string music in general. I've always enjoyed it. Soundtrack music, flourish songs, and some of my favorite performances by one of my favorite bands is, of course, Metallica when they played with the LA Symphony. I love that. I love that combination of symphony or strings with rock. So that's a beautiful song. We get to hear Tom's, again, his very nicely singing voice. I think this album is showcasing his singing more than I'm remembering, if that makes sense. I think I've made a comment on part one where I feel like we're getting more of Tom's vocal work on this album than I recall.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was trying to figure out what the song was about. And
Okay,
I'm
so
sure that there's somebody who's like, who knows.
I have a little bit of info.
Oh, you got some info. Okay.
A little bit.
Let's hear it.
Faust is German, and I thought it sounded German, but it's more the legend of Faust. He's a highly successful person who's still somehow dissatisfied and has started exchanging moral integrity. So he is selling your soul for either additional knowledge, wisdom, or simple carnal pleasures. Now, Arp is, people are saying here, Arp might refer to I'm sorry about this pronunciation, arpeggiating. Ugh. Anyways, it's
Arpeggio?
where
Arpeggiating?
Yes, thank you. It's where Johnny's finger picking throughout the song consists largely of variations of BM and G major chord structures played as a constant, ever-running arpeggios. There you go. So that might be that. So it's a combination of the sound of the song with the acoustic guitar playing with the Faust legend combined. Faust Arp.
Faust
There
Arp.
you go.
Ah, lovely.
Lovely. Now the next song, Nathan, is, you know what it is, right?
Nope.
Yes, you do. Well, let me tell you. Okay, let me just. It's Reckoner. Now we've done Reckoner, but we did the live. We did the live in the basement. Version. So we actually, so we saw them live in the basement, but we have not heard, of course, the studio version as presented to those. These next three songs will be saying, or these next two songs, will be saying this Reckoner and House of Cards. We did both of those perform. House of Cards was also was awesome. And I remember loving both, and they were from the basement sessions. But now we're listening to obviously the studio version. Okay, so that's the next two songs. Okay,
excellent.
So people will say, "You guys already?" Yes, we reacted to that performance, not to the studio version. Okay.
We did at least that much homework.
We did that much homework. Yes.
'Cause we separate like ripples on a blank
String orchestra again.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a question. What do the guitar tone and sounds like? What other band did it sound like? Did it trigger any sound to you from another band that you're familiar with?
Maybe a little bit of REM.
If it's okay if it didn't, I'm not trying to trap you. Or if it didn't, it didn't. Well, right away, I heard it right away. It sounded like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, really?
Right away. Like the moment I heard that guitar part by Johnny Greenwood, I was like, "Oh, that sounds like John Frusciante. That sounds like his guitar riff styles." And right here it says, "Tom York said the guitar riff was an homage to Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist John Frusciante."
No way.
So there you go. Tom described the song as a kind of love song, sort of. That is a really good song, by the way.
Oh yeah, no,
there's
a reason why it was requested earlier.
Yeah,
for us to listen to the basement version. It's nice to hear this version though, because
it is
because of the fuller, not the fuller sound. I really love the recording atmosphere of that basement session.
Yeah, it's a legendary performance in the basement. Stuff they do is really good. But I do like hearing what they. This is what we want people to hear when they buy the album sound.
Right. The addition of those strings and everything really fills it in, I think. So so it's beautiful. It's another beautiful song. It's the kind of music that I would say, like, I hate admitting that I haven't put these basement songs on my phone yet. I've put the entire album OK Computer on my phone. But I guess I forgot about these because I don't know. Sometimes it's just easier to go put the whole album on instead. And so
it is.
Yeah. I'm excited to put this all back, or not back, because it wasn't on my phone before, but to put the whole thing on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. I forgot how good that is. And that, look, I've not admitted, I should say. I've stated before in other Radiohead songs we've done, like, Radiohead's an interesting journey for me. Like, it doesn't quite elicit, like, emotional response. Like, it's not touching my spirit, and I don't know why that is. But this song is getting the closest to doing that. I think that this is diving into where my artistic, what I enjoy about music. This is definitely tapping into that haunting vocal, that guitar riff, and maybe because it has a little bit Chili Peppers-ish sound. Because I admit I'm a huge Chili Peppers fan. So I admit. So, but anyways, I have really enjoyed and listening to Radiohead and hearing what it is that people get excited about. And I think that's the biggest thing we have to acknowledge, that Nathan and I, we don't fanboy just for the sake of people come watch our channel because we fanboy everything. It's just, this is my honest journey right now with Radiohead in general. I can see why. It's like me with cars. Okay, I'm not a car guy.
Right.
But I can look at a car and say, I get why people would get excited by this aesthetically whatever looking car or dirt bikes or whatever. Like, I get why people are excited by it. I understand what it is they want to do in a vehicle that goes fast or whatever. It just doesn't excite me. And so Radiohead for me is like, I get it. I get why people are fascinated by Tom York and John Greenwood and the band in general. I see them on stage, and we're going to have live performance coming up, I think. And I'm never bored, but the spirit part isn't quite connecting, if that makes sense. That's all.
I've noticed a lot of people who are just slightly younger than us. So by 5 to 10 years, this is kind of their This is like their Guns N' Roses to them.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
That's
like,
fair.
There's
a generation
U2
for sure.
or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
No, but I don't get me wrong. I am loving the experience.
Yeah,
and I'm seeing why people get excited the way they do. But yeah, it's I don't want to. I hope I'm not underselling it. Is all I'm saying. I'm not. But at the same time, this is actually this is legit a very good album. I can see why Eleni, who pledged this album to us to listen to, it's her personal favorite. And I kind of get that every song is legitimately very good.
Yeah,
it's a very strong album. Yeah. All right, the next one. Again, we saw the embasement for this one, but now we're going to listen to the studio version. Same idea. Okay.
House of Cards. Yep. Okay.
House of Cards. Yeah. That's right. House of Cards. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I remember this one. River in Egypt, the Nile. Sorry.
Infrastructure will collapse. Voltage spikes. Throw your keys in the bowl, 'cause your heart's blown. Good night. By your house of cards and I'll do mine.
Okay, so this is something I've come to realize with, and maybe I've said this before. People who've watched my Radiohead reactions before probably heard me say it. Maybe I'm coming to that conclusion again.
What's that?
Radiohead generally seems to be, when you really break it down, it's actually quite simple. When you when you take like the music, like as far as the notes being played, right, or the chords, they're not entirely complex. Like, you know,
this is how we'll know how far people got into the video, is this comment here. Keep going.
So, but I mean, like, that last song was literally just really 2 notes played, but the way that they were played, obviously, and then the way that the effects were added, and the way that it's presented is actually, that's the complexity. So like, yeah, they're like, think about the guitar. It was like, it's literally 2 notes. Do 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 do. Right, the bass has been playing the same 2 notes. Do 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 do. But like, you add these layers of sound and soundscape, and like his vocals, that they're adding the layers of different effects to it. Like that's really what makes Radiohead that much more complex. But it's simple. It's very, very simple. So it's the juxtaposition of the things together that makes the complexity of the. Yeah, here you go.
Bill Cosby, is that you?
This is a pudding pop that puts it in a better.
That's it. I'm out of here. That's it. All right. Bless Bill's heart. He was wrongfully accused. Those 70 women were all liars. Okay. Now we'll really know who
made it this far.
No, that's another beautiful song. I agree with what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I don't have that musical ear that you have regarding like notes that are different, or you're more musically inclined than I am to hear stuff like that. But I understand what you're saying, and you're saying that to take something that's quote unquote maybe not complex, but make it complex, or make it sound more is going on than's really going on, and that's actually in itself is very. Yeah, this is another showcase too of Tom's vocal work, a very haunting vocal work on this album, and this album is also showing me this is a very. I think if you're to show anyone Radiohead for the first time, I think we mentioned this on part 1. This is probably the album to show people like me, for example. Like, is this your first time listening to Radiohead? This is a great introduction album.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, well, that's why people come to our channel. So why don't you just play the last song, Nathan, just for ease of... I know Eleni got mad at us before, but she's not here, so she can't stop us. Why don't you just play the last song on the album,
and then we'll edit it in. Yeah.
No. We'll just do it in order. It's fine.
Okay.
And then we'll watch the live... I think it's a good way to go out. Then we'll watch the live performance of Jigsaw. Okay.
Sure.
Because so people are tracking, we've already done Jigsaw falling into place. We've done that like from this album, studio version from this album. So we found the latest live clip that I could find pro shot on YouTube. It's from 2009. I'm sure there's other ones, but that's the one that I saw that was the most popular. So, and we're going to watch that last. But so right now we're going to listen to the last song on the album called Videotape.
Okay, I'm going to skip.
Yep.
When I'm at the pearly gates, this will be on my videotape, my videotape. Mephistopheles is just beneath, and is reaching up to grab me. This is one for the good days, and I have it all here in red, blue, green, and red, blue, green.
Okay. So here's my take on this song. I think a Radiohead fanatic has to explain that song to me, because it's an odd end to an album. It's very dark. This idea of this is me saying goodbye. It's the only way to do it. I'm going to record myself and say this. Tom does it without any effects on his voice. It's that same thing that I was saying earlier. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The complexity, but very simple. It's like the chords were pretty much the same. The beat was kind of very minimalistic. But for whatever reason, there requires an explanation that I just don't know. So someone who's like a super fan would have to explain that to me, because I just found it awkward. I found it as just, it didn't sit well with me at the end of a really great album. Here's this song. It's kind of dark. It's kind of minimalistic, but I don't know. I expected something different, I guess. Yeah.
That's funny. Unlike you, I didn't mean to make it sound like that. It's just very interesting that you came up with that, because it's almost exactly the opposite of how I feel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a very fitting end to the album. Oh. Now, I know we still have to listen to Jigsaw or do a live performance, but I can see why this ended the album. I can see, because the album's been very kind of more, I don't want to say upbeat, but there's been more kind of, it's been more accessible for a master audience, such as me, let's say, who's not familiar with because I'm not familiar with Radiohead. I almost expect this is their way of saying, okay, Radiohead fans, we're still Radiohead, and they ended this album with kind of a Radiohead type closer, in my opinion. Now, again, my knowledge is limited with the band and how they close albums. Of course, we've only reviewed 2 albums completely now, so it seemed very fitting, and I like the hauntiness, and I like that piano. And I was thinking, just like you, of course, that here's another very, doom, doom, but they pick these chords and they repeat them, and it is creepy. You're like, ooh, it's something in my, room, And so I liked it. I think the haunting ending and a somber and sad ending actually is very fitting to the way the album began, more upbeat and strong, with these beats per minute were kind of resonated throughout with that opening track. Now it's a somber closing, so I thought it fit myself.
Okay yeah. Cool.
Right.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's how we it's one of the joys of doing this channel, is that we don't agree with each other all the time, and we have different opinions. And
we don't want to hear 2 of us say the same thing ever.
Absolutely.
That was great. That was amazing.
I liked it.
That was great. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. Some channels do that, and they get 500,000 more views than we get.
Yeah. All right. Jigsaw falling into place live.
Yeah, and this will be the closer to the album. Of course, we actually have heard every song on the album officially, but this is our first time seeing this song live, of course. All right.
Yeah. Cool. Outdoor concert.
Yeah.
So it's called a Jigsaw falling into place.
I'd love to go to a Radiohead concert.
Yeah, that was we said this before of other bands and performances. Yeah, I think if I was to listen to Radiohead, I think live seems to be. I enjoy it more live, but I'm glad we heard the studio versions of these songs. But at the same time, I think my interest and my enjoyment level increases with the live performances, with the crowd, and I'm hearing like different guitars, sounds better. Like live just seems, it's more full experience for sure.
So I had a thought that occurred to me that hasn't occurred to me before about Radiohead that makes me like, I know I've made comparisons in the past and people get all grumpy with me and
don't do it.
So I'm going to stay away from previous comparisons, but here's one that kind of occurs to me. Very different sound, these two bands I'm going to compare. Well, Radiohead's one of them obviously, but like in terms of comparison of like content and even lyrics, and even stage presence, I would say Tragically Hip comes pretty close. You know, if you think of Gord Downey's kind of stage presence and his like kind of like the way he gets into songs and kind of, it's a bit of a character for him to do that on stage when he was around, rest in peace. But like that idea of, you know, kind of interpreting the song in that way, like, I don't know, it kind of occurred to me that there's a bit of a comparison there that could be made. That's, you know, maybe not the same sound of music, but certainly in that same vein. You know, it's almost like a little bit of what Radiohead does is there's a bit of speaking truth to power. There's a little bit of political stuff. There's not supercharged, but there's poetry in the music, and that's what Gord Downey does. Is he's a poet, right? At his heart, he's a poet. Anyway, just I made that.
That's that's an interesting. That's fair. I think that's fair. I think some of their sound is actually quite. I think Tragically Hip has a thicker kind of sound. Generally speaking, their sound's a little thicker, but I can see. It's a very fair comparison, I think. Because I think in many ways, Tragically Hip isn't that radio friendly with a lot of their songs. They're really not.
That's right.
So,
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was an amazing journey. What a great album. In Rainbows was an incredible album. I really did enjoy it. I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I was. I admit, going in, I was a little bit apprehensive. Like, oof, a whole album of Radiohead. And I remember not feeling this way with OK Computer. So, like, I think I enjoyed that, but there's such a complex band, even though some of their songs seem simple, but they have a lot going on, and they're just a different band than any other band I listen to. So they're totally out of my wheelhouse in many ways. So, but this album was really good. I think if I had to rank the two albums I've listened to from Radiohead, In Rainbows and right below OK Computer. No. But great experiences. I'm glad that we got to do this. This is why we do this channel, is we're exposing ourselves to music, albums, songs. And I like hearing why other people like certain albums and bands. I think it's a fun experience to kind of get into. Now I can say, I've listened to Radiohead. I've listened to their whole album. I've given it a complete listen, and I've thought about the songs, and not just a cursory glance. We've actually, dived deep into these listens. So thanks, Lenny, for that. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm in the same. I would put this one above OK Computer, and there's certainly songs on here that are favorited higher than some of the songs, but they're very close because I listen to OK Computer every once in a while.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Well, if you want us to react to an album or song, hit us up on Patreon.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Lenny, and we'll see you on the next one.
You bet.